we should be good to go.
Okay, great. Thank you. So I'll call to order this meeting of the Commissioners of Poolesville. It's October 19th, 2020. And those who are here in attendance, myself, Carrie Cook, Commissioner Valerie Dickerson, Commissioner Jerry Kubikowski, Commissioner Jim Brown, Commissioner Martin Radigan, our town manager, Seth Rivard, and our town attorney, Jack Gullo. And Val, would you like to lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance this evening?
To the flag up here.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And I understand we have some special guests here with us this evening.
Yes. I'll pull in the first one here.
Very exciting.
Yes.
Something new for our Zoom world.
Oh, my best buddy. Hey, Brian.
Hey, I thought I was lost in the shuffle here. This is great.
No, thanks for being here.
Well, did I miss anything?
Just the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay. Okay, well, do I get an opportunity to say anything or, about...
Brian, the floor is all yours. Feel free to say whatever you want.
Let me just
Thanks
say,
so much.
I cannot believe how quickly 8 years went by. I guess it ended a chapter for the town commissioners tonight, and it's the beginning of a new chapter in Valerie's life, which I think is exciting for her. The thing is politics, and you guys know as well as I do that politics really is about relationships. And I have to say that the first time I met Valerie, I felt comfortable with her. I felt, well, let me stop by saying that relationship component that I mentioned earlier, I think has gotten lost in Washington, D.C. I think they've sort of lost sight of how important the relationship component to politics is. I think it's still important in terms of state and local government and making, in terms of effectiveness. And so I think that is she's one of the folks that I felt comfortable with from the first that I met her. And I'm talking about you, Valerie.
Thank you, Brian. That really means so much to me.
And also, it's true of some, several of you, but I just, since tonight is Valerie's last night, I do want to say that, it's in order to the benefit of the town, so I also always felt comfortable to give me a call when there's an issue impacting Poolesville. I've always felt comfortable giving her a call on a cell phone when there's an issue, that I thought she could help me out with, and vice versa. So I think it's, not just a relationship thing, but it's also ultimately politics that I think helps the town itself out. And so I think bottom line, Val's done a fantastic job for 8 years. She's gonna be sorely missed. If I had some champagne here, I would raise a glass and a job well done. And also, and I'm going to have to spend a lot of political capital to do this, but I am going to go and get a state proclamation memorializing this event tonight. I'm going to get my D15 teammates on that proclamation so that you'll have something that memorializes your time as a commissioner and the fact how much we appreciated the work you've done. And so I don't want to belabor the meeting tonight, but I just wanted to weigh in with a couple of minutes saying what I just said. But so you should be expecting something in the mail shortly from the state of Maryland. I would have had it in hand to sort of put it up on the camera tonight, but we were unable to get it quickly to do that. But you're going to get something that you can frame and put on your wall, and it's going to have all our John Hancocks on it officially. So on behalf of the state of Maryland, I hereby congratulate you for a job well done over the past 8 years serving the town of Poolesville, and it's been a real pleasure, and I look forward to working with you in the future, whatever you choose to do. And I'm sure you'll do a great job at it.
Well, Brian, I mean, that means the world to me. I'm sure you know, we've been friends for all these years, and I just want to say everything that you said, I feel, so endeared to. We've had so many political conversations. We've had so many personal conversations. We've had so many times together. We addressed the Senate together. We've addressed so many different issues with not just Poolesville, not just Montgomery County, but the state of Maryland, you and I side by side. And I really can't tell you how much I appreciate the friendship that you have, supported me in politically and in a municipality, which is not political, and just as a friend. So thank you so much for that. I have enjoyed every bit of it. I've enjoyed every meeting we've had that we got to sit together, every glass of wine that we got to drink together at all of those meetings. Of course, because usually you bought them. But I just can't thank.
By the way, as much as I know you wanted to see my living room, I specifically got my virtual background, the state capitol. So
I love it.
Our official oomph right behind. So I just want to make this as official as possible. Get this dome here, the oldest state capitol in the United States of America, right here.
And it looks great.
The dome, I could do it, but we don't need to do a whole show here.
But you will be hearing from me because, as you know, my true passion for Poolesville is the future of our senior citizens. And a lot of people know this, but I'll tell you now that I'll be working diligently to make sure that we are getting some programs for our seniors going forward. And so you haven't seen the last of me yet, but thank you for taking your time. That really means the world to me that you took some time tonight for Poolesville and for me personally.
Well, I'll stick around a few minutes. What do you have? Anything interesting on the agenda tonight, or is it all boring stuff?
Oh, we have one more surprise guest speaker.
Okay. Well, I hope we get the councilman up here.
Oh my goodness.
Because he's my guy. Some of you don't know this, so I'm going to embarrass him. Should I embarrass him again? But I got a lot of history of Friedson, so I'm glad that he joined in here tonight. But
oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say,
I've been in the waiting room. I didn't know who you had to know in Poolesville to get let in from the waiting room. I've been on since 7.
Oh, well, Andrew, I mean, 2 of my favorite people right here. You guys are the best, honestly. I'll let you go first.
Well, I already spoke, Councilman.
Andrew, I'll let Andrew say it.
I just want to make the senator goes first. I'm just a lowly council member here at the local level, trying to do my best to make sure the streets get paved and the sidewalks get cleared. But I'm sad and I'm excited for you, Val, and nobody has been a better advocate for Poolesville and a closer friend and ally to me. You really helped me understand the issues that Poolesville has been facing. Have really been a great partner for me in municipal government in general. You've been a tremendous advocate for particularly the aging adult population and the unique challenges that the community faces in Western Montgomery County, and the transportation challenges, the healthcare needs, the social isolation issues that result. And you, I have no doubt, will continue to be a great advocate. You certainly don't need to have a title and don't need to hold an office in order to continue the advocacy that you were doing well before you were on the commissioners. But I certainly will miss seeing you up there. But look forward to being back and continuing to be in Poolesville quite a bit, and to staying in close touch with you. And I have no doubt that I'll be hearing from you and hearing about any issues that Poolesville has. And I know you'll continue to work with your current colleagues on the commissioners, who will continue to do a great job for the town. And it will continue to be one of the great places in the state of Maryland, one of the great places anywhere, one of the truly great small towns. And it definitely is a new chapter for Poolesville, and I will be glad to be back. Hopefully this will take a little bit of a burden off of you, but hopefully it will just change your role, and you'll change the type of public service you do as back to being an advocate from elected official. But I'll be here to help and support you, to help and support Poolesville along the way. And hopefully everybody will feel free to reach out to me, and look forward to working with a friend and mentor of mine and Senator Feldman. And I started actually coming to Poolesville Day with Senator Feldman when he was running for delegate for his first reelection back in 2005, 2006 timeframe. So it's really exciting to be able to join him and represent Poolesville together at the state level and the county level, because it really is a partnership between the state, the county, and the municipal level. And certainly during these challenging times, we'll have to work through these issues together. But my friend, a partner in government, and a great advocate for our shared constituents, congratulations, and I wish you well, and certainly bittersweet to see you go.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. I mean, Brian, I mentioned to Brian as well, you know, certainly I'll be moving on, but I'll be doing all of the things that you talked about already, of course. The seniors, I will be looking after them until I am one, and hopefully someone is looking after me. Well, I'm already one, but until I actually needed a serious advocate, I will come looking to you, Andrew.
I'll be here.
Yeah.
Moving along, but not moving on, I hope.
Yeah, I know you both will be. And, you know, you and Brian have been absolutely, your whole group has been just such a great group of people to work with. Kathleen, of course, you know, everybody, David, we've had such a great relationship with all of you guys. And thank you so much. I appreciate the fact that you sought out of not just, you know, my support for you, but a friendship. And, you know, it means the world to me that you and Brian have become, you know, friends, not just.
Hey Val, can I just challenge the councilman quickly? You may not have heard, but I'm going to be using my political capital to generate some proclamation from the state of Maryland. I hope that guilts you into doing the same, one of those fancy proclamations from the county council for.
Of course.
Val, I don't want to make you look bad. I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but I hope you can produce that quickly and get it to her.
The state ones are cooler, but we're happy to provide a little Rockville backup here.
Okay, well, then we're good.
You know,
I will
this
take
comes from
the
longest continuous serving state house in America, where George Washington resigned. Mine comes from a place that you know, sometimes the ceiling kind of drops down a little bit and catches you on the head, but you know,
beautiful building.
Not that we're you know, deciding which one's better and which one's worse.
Well, I've spent a lot of good times in both of those buildings with both of you, and that's what's important. And like I said, your team, your entire team, that, you know, Brian, from your days with the county all the way till now.
And just, Val, I always want you to remember this is the very last bond bill in the state of Maryland that went towards town hall was, and this, for those of you, Seth, you may not know this, we put in a bond bill to put state dollars towards the creation of your town hall. The very next day, they told us that Poolesville was it in the state of Maryland, that no more bond bill money would ever go into the future to build town hall. So Poolesville Town Hall, and I got my name on one of those you know, that is, you guys are the last. So as you look at the state capitol here and you know, you're in your, you know, well, I guess virtually, maybe not so much, but that's kind of, I always like to make that point anytime I'm, you know, talking to you guys is Poolesville is historic in that nature.
Yeah.
No future state bond bill money will go to any state town hall in the future, you know.
And we're happy that we made it in under the wire.
Yeah, well,
really
like that 5 minutes, basically.
We love our town hall. We do, but you know, I will be seeing both of you in a lot of places, and you know, don't think that your cell phones are going to go dark and you're never going to hear from me again.
Anyway, we don't want to take too much. I know you got some business tonight, and we don't want to take too much.
Yeah.
But we just did want to.
Thank you so much. It really means the world to me, both of you. Thank you. Love you both.
Guys, good luck tonight and congrats.
Good luck.
Montgomery County and Maryland are both very lucky to have you guys. So thank you so much. All right.
Poolesville is very lucky for you and for all of you. Thanks to all of you for your leadership and getting us through these tough times. Local government's more important than ever. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank you
guys.
both for
Thank you.
joining us.
Appreciate
Okay,
it.
guys. See you
Have a
later.
good meeting.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks very much.
Thank
Good seeing
you.
you.
Thank you. Good seeing you.
Well, that was certainly a nice surprise.
That
Thanks,
was very
guys.
nice.
That was really nice.
Well, let's move on to our commissioner committee reports. Jim, you want to start us off?
I do, so first of all, and by the way, I didn't want to try to connect the dots there, but you can't understate that Val's push for Andrew, if he's still listening, that he didn't win by a ton of votes, and her push to help him get elected potentially has led us to where we are in terms of our success with fair access. So it doesn't take much to connect the dots that that Andrew has been and will continue to be a real critical player with fair access and a true ally. And so Val, amongst all the many things that we could say about what you've done for the town, your insistent pushing for Andrew and be able to kind of see through the fog of the other candidates to produce what has turned out to be an incredibly important ally of us and for the Up County and the Western County you can't understate how important that's been. So we get to connect the dots every day, but and Andrew's too humble to go there with it, or maybe he doesn't want to blow up your head too much further, Val. But that was a big deal. So it really delivered.
No, he's just been a really great friend. So
he's been a great friend to all of us, and he's
more
been
to thank
amazing.
him for than he'll ever
Well,
have.
it's thanks to your friendship. You hosted the get together for him. I guarantee you helped deliver the Western County for him, and that's potentially what propelled him to the win. And we couldn't have had a better council member thanks to you and working hard for him. So
thanks, Jim.
Yep, my pleasure. Well, that's one of many things that we could say about that. In terms of fair access, you guys, we've had our second design meeting, kind of similar to the first. A little more details were rolled out to us, and I just emailed a response to Jamie Duffy, who is our main contact for the building construction team. And I've sent it all to the commissioners so you guys can read it and see what we're up to. This was constructed by the Fair Access Committee that put it together, where we've taken what they've given us in terms of the design structure, which is a rebuild of the existing structure, or so they're proposing. Rebuild in a lot of ways. And we put together this a response that really personalizes it to Poolsville for what we think the Western County and the Poolsville High School draw area needs out of that high school. So that's in your inbox, everybody. Check it out, and then we'll be giving more information as time goes along. Jerry, do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so as I said, the Fair Access Committee, a lot of collaboration, and we put in a lot of time, and you'll see that letter. And if the commissioners have any questions on these correspondences that we're putting out, please feel free to send them back to me, and I'll distribute out to the Fair Access Committee. That's it.
Okay, great.
Thanks,
Jim, how different was this format from the previous one? Did they provide more information to some of the questions that were asked, like cost comparisons, other things?
Well, we have asked those questions, but we've also refined our own message to kind of figure out where we stand in terms of being able to even request costs, and what does that data mean to us, and how can we interpret that into the vision that we're seeing for this high school. So what it did was it gave us I'd say it gave us a little more focus on how our input can be meaningful towards the process. They did give more details about the school, not a ton. It also, again, helped us refocus too, that we've got to be able to get the message out to the broader public so that we can, some of these issues are things that the Fair Access Committee, we think we've already kind of gotten them solved. And we have residents and members of the community that are chiming in really with pertinent information to help us take what they've heard in those meetings. And you don't get it just out of one meeting. You get it out of kind of like these round robins where people are coming from all different angles, and it does help kind of expose where the holes are and the areas that we need to address. So I would say overall, earlier meetings, we're talking about that they threw 3 options at us that they were considering. This most recent meeting was the obvious option, which was by far, initially the least expensive one. We've got questions on that. You'll see that in the information that I've sent all you guys, how, we're looking for more interpretation of that. And there are some legitimate concerns from the Fair Access Committee members. They're picking an option that still uses a fair amount of the existing school with a lot of rebuild. And they've said all along, they've said that it's the least efficient option long-term. So those guys are weighing those dollars and cents. We've asked those questions. We did dive a little bit more into the details in this most recent meeting. Probably the crystallization of the option 3, which is a rebuild of the existing high school. Don't get me wrong, we're still talking about all new buildings in many places. And we're talking about 2-story buildings. We're talking about complete new fascia. But just as an example, no new gym. That's a big deal for us, right? So that's part of our concern. You'll see that in the letter. It's right up there. One of the top 2 is essentially the health of the students, including mental and physical health. And the gym is part of addressing that.
Yeah, that's really important.
So yeah, Seth, thanks for the further question on that. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's too bad about the new gym. I laugh every time I hear someone refer to the new gym that we have, which is what,
40 years old.
Yeah.
40
It was built while I was attending Poolsville High School.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I mean, I'm 57 and it was built my sophomore year of high school.
78.
Yeah, the new gym.
So it's you guys, without trying to, because some people are watching this, without trying to belittle the effort, we're going back very hard on what's needed in terms of both the mental and physical health aspects of the school rebuild. And also too, talking about the future, where would a community center go? How will a community center interact with the regular high school? We're trying to get them to plan for the future too. And really not having a new gym cannot be part of the new, not be part of the new future. So, well, hopefully we'll make our point.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be advocating hard for the community center, so.
We're going to need all commissioners to write a small check. Oh, look at you're out. You're not
I'm
going
gonna
to.
This is how they get you right before you try to leave.
Right. Hey, make sure we let all the candidates know what their obligations can be.
Yeah, I'm gonna be checking off a few boxes.
We're gonna need you to do that. So. Anyway, that's all for now. So if anybody that's watching on the public wants a copy of these informational pieces we're sending back, all you have to do is email me, reach out to any of the Fair Access Committee members. I'll send it to Seth. Maybe Seth can get it posted somewhere.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
We don't put them on the town website under Fair Access? I thought we were doing that.
I don't think we have so far, but there's no reason why we couldn't.
I mean, that'd be the proper place.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you.
That'd be great. So for me, in terms of Parks Board met on the 7th of the month, and one of the agenda items we'll be looking at under new business tonight. That's the veterans posters. The Parks Board was also moving ahead on the part B of the nature trail proposal that high school students have proposed on town property over by the middle school. So kind of moving forward with that. Town staff is kind of looking at answering some of the questions that Parks Board had about part A. So hopefully that will be something that will be looked at in the future. We're also looking for a new Parks Board member. So if anybody watching is interested, shoot an email to Town Hall and let them know that you're interested in serving on Parks and Rec. And let's see, I have been able to attend a few Zooms this month. Last Thursday, I attended sort of our homegrown local group that's formed here, the Community Conversations. And it was great because we got to have Officer Tara Bond joined us, and she brought along with her Officer Michelle Smith. And it was just great to have them as part of the conversation. Topics, you know, from our youth to education to you know, recent incidents like the vandalism that's happened over at the skate park were all addressed. And so it was just really great to have them as part of the conversation. So shout out to Officer Bond and Officer Smith for joining us, and just always being so you know, welcoming and a part of all of our ongoing conversations here, and part of our community. That same night, I was also able to join the Black and Brown Coalition webinar about, the topic was educational success. And it was quite a webinar. They had some real heavy hitters on there, including Dr. Smith, the superintendent of schools, and Shebra Evans was there, president of the Board of Education. And probably one of the greatest parts of the webinar was students gave their own testimonials about life in education during COVID, and one of our PHS students spoke as well. So a lot of conversations going on about this new world that we're in, but was really great. And then earlier in the month, I attended MoCo Mayor's Zoom, and the topic was about the county's general plan, which came from a presentation from Thrive Montgomery. And it was quite a comprehensive presentation. In fact, even though they're going through work sessions now, they did offer to come and speak to our board, perhaps as early as next month after the election, and kind of give a more condensed version of their presentation. But I think it could be, you know, really beneficial for our board to kind of hear all of the things that are in the works for the county's plan. And I think that's it for me. Val, I'm gonna go up next.
Yeah, so I mean, events, of course, you know, my last official report on events, and I'm super sad that it has ended during a COVID year. This pandemic has really changed all of our lives from the event perspective. So it's been very sad to go out this way with the thing that I love the most, for sure. So I think, as many of you know, the holiday lighting is our subject right now as far as what the next event, the official event, would be. You know, the WUMCO Walk, of course, would have been under our umbrella, although it's a WUMCO event, but the holiday Halloween event that we do, WUMCO is still going to be doing a virtual costume contest. They're still doing a virtual walk. I think they're doing a walk. They're doing a fundraiser right now to help support the fundraiser that would replace what we would have done at Whalen Commons. I've already gone onto their website and purchased my Halloween bags to decorate. You can get a group of them for $10, and you can decorate them, and then they're all going to go out on Whalen Commons on Halloween evening, and they're all going to be lit up. It should be absolutely beautiful, and I'm super excited for that. So you can draw on them, you can use hole punches to, you know, make different designs, but a super cool way for them to sort of recoup a little fundraiser money virtually. So thank you to Catherine for doing that. And for anybody who is watching, or if anybody's covering this, if Link is out there somewhere, or Randy, you know, please just make sure that we let everyone know to support WUMCO through this upcoming holiday season. You know, of course, one of my favorite things to do, and having started the toy program with WUMCO, it's been amazing. So I remember when I started that program, we had 42 toys for 180 families. And Tim Pike and I and a couple other people drove around in our cars and delivered what we could. And now we're giving not only bags and bags of toys and gift certificates to every family in need, but we're also delivering food if they need it for the holidays, gift cards for the older kids. So, you know, please support them. The holiday lighting, I think it's obvious to everyone that we are not going to be having this event. I don't think that we as a board have actually voted to cancel it, and I don't know if we actually need to do that. Do we actually need that?
That's your decision as the board.
I mean, I think that, you know, I think we know, our board knows that it's not going to happen. I just want to make sure that this board is well aware that the holiday lighting, as we know it, is not going to happen.
I think unfortunately it's probably something that we all sort of assumed. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we're still going to be, the town still, my understanding from, you know, Seth and Preston, we're still going to be putting up, you know, all of our great lights and decorating Wayland Commons, doing the things that we've always done to make the town feel festive. So that's exciting. There was some conversation. Carrie and I received an email from Jeff Eck from the fire department. And of course, you know, they're going back and forth with their process of what they want to do for the holiday. And Jeff and I spoke on the phone. I believe Carrie and Jeff may have spoken. You know, of course, they want to do something to still help, you know, bring that feeling of the holidays to the town. And talking to their volunteer chief, I believe they were making a decision to, I don't believe they're going to be having the Santa pancake breakfast. I believe they had a meeting recently, and I believe they decided to cancel that. And they've had some heavy discussions about the Santa ride through town. And their thought process on that is that, you know, it could cause people to congregate in neighborhoods or driveways. And so, you know, trying to, you know, alleviate anything whatsoever that could produce more cases of COVID, they are trying to find a way to do something. So, you know, I guess at this point we could talk about that. You know, their idea was to bring the fire truck to Wayland Commons, have Santa on the fire truck, and then have the residents drive by to see the lights and have Santa waving. We would not be able to have, you know, people walking up there to the fire truck. It's, you know, it's an interesting concept. Like everything we've had to deal with, we've had to kind of mull through the idea and weigh the pros and cons. And so certainly I think it's just something that we as a board have to discuss and figure out what we want to see happen. So having said that,
Seth, are we going to have Jeff join us during public comment? Is that right?
Yeah, we can have them. Yep.
He'll be on in a few minutes.
Yeah. So is there anything anybody else wants to say about that or talk about that? Or should we wait for Jeff?
Why don't we come back to it when Jeff comes on?
Okay. That sounds good. So other than that, obviously we don't have a lot to report on events. And so sadly, the year will end without a face-to-face gathering, one of our favorite gatherings in the town of Poolesville. Super sad that it's not going to happen this year, but I guess we're all understanding as to why. So
yep.
If you guys as commissioners, you know, you see the town staff, you know, thank them for all of their work and getting the lights up and getting the decorations up. And, you know, they always get to relish in it on the holiday lighting, but we don't want them to think that it went for nothing no matter what. So.
And we picked up some new Halloween lights this year, if you haven't noticed as well on that. And then I think you may have mentioned as well, but also the traditional lighting contest is still a go as well.
Right, I did not mention that, but yes. So the house lighting, you know, everybody do your houses up 100 times better than ever, because you know this year there's going to be a lot of people driving around in their cars with their children to look at the holiday decorations. You know, it's really what is going to make the town feel festive are people's homes and Wayland Commons. So, you know, anything that you can do on your street and for your home to make it feel more festive, This is the best year ever to do it.
All right, well, thank you. Jerry,
Yes, lots going on. Tomorrow night, there's going to be a Zoom meeting with the Montgomery County chapter of MML. It's a meet and confer with the Board of Education, Dr. Smith and his staff. And it goes off at 6:30. I'm going to start off the meeting and then jump into the candidates forum tomorrow night. That starts at 7:30. The census has ended. The Supreme Court issued an order ending this 2020 census on the 15th of October. And it needed to end so that the Census Bureau had enough time to crunch the numbers to meet the congressionally mandated year-end deadline for turning over the figures that are used to decide how many congressional seats in the House of Representatives are allotted to each state. I'd like to thank our Poolsville census response rate. I just checked this morning and it went up to 86.5%. That's
wow,
0.1% better than 2010. And our census tract area was 79.2.
that's great.
I'd like to thank members of who joined me on the committee and helped me out a lot. Miss Monica Molina, Mr. George Coakley, and Mr. William McDonald for being part of our complete count committee. They went through a lot of meetings in person and Zoom meetings. And a special thanks for Monica for arranging a bilingual census public service announcement. Our community should thank them for all of their taking their valuable time to pursue this endeavor, which hopefully will lead to more federal funds and resources coming to our state, our county, in Western Montgomery County. And with respect to the free COVID-19 testing in Poolsville, in addition to the Poolsville Baptist Church, the Poolsville Presbyterian Church has also volunteered to be a test site. And once these churches return rules of entry form to the county, a site survey of both churches will be conducted, and then testing dates can be announced, which will be posted on Wayland Commons Marquee Town website, town and community information Facebook pages, and it'll be sign up over the internet. Now let me see if there's anything else here. Oh, one other thing is the ZTA 20 community solar in the Ag Reserve. The county executive said it was premature and suggested that urban sites could be better sites for more solar arrays, particularly with the advancement of technology in solar sidewalks and roads. And Council President Sidney Katz has requested a task force be convened to provide more community feedback. And Council Member Nancy Navarro agreed and said that she had a renewed appreciation for preserving the agricultural reserve because of the growing problem with the access to food as a result of the pandemic, which I thought was very interesting. Thank you.
Hey, Jerry, what do you think about agendizing a more formal thank you to that committee that worked on the census? That's quite an impressive rate of response.
I'm going to make up some certificates of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That's a great idea.
Okay, thank you. And Martin.
Hello. So the Planning Commission met last Wednesday. We had a pretty quick meeting, just a couple things on the agenda. The first was a variance. Somebody wanted to put basically take a patio and put like a roof over it and a screened-in porch, which was approved unanimously. And then we dealt with the concept plan for locals. We had David Terrio and Sandy come out and talk to us about their plans, which are, very exciting, as we all know. Everything went pretty smooth. There was some discussion about the parking. They're going to need a variance for parking, more than likely. If you'll recall, they what is it, 7 spaces they have?
I think that sounds correct, yes.
And by our zoning code, they probably need significantly more. So they're going to need a variance for that, which everyone seemed open to. There was some discussion about possibly revisiting the matter, somewhere down the road if locals is really busy and the 7 spaces isn't working out and it's becoming kind of chaotic, we could possibly revisit it. The reason they can't put more spaces in, they don't want to disturb more than 5,000 square feet, I think it is, so that they have to get stormwater management approval, which is very costly and cumbersome. The other thing that was tossed around was like the idea of where the dumpster is going to go. Nothing too exciting there, and then how it would be covered, what kind of a wall would be around it, and if there'd be anything on top of it to try to deter things like vultures.
The lovely Poolsville vultures.
Right.
The dumpster divers.
Yeah, so that was it, and I think David and Sandy were encouraged, and the Planning Commission all seemed pretty behind the project, and as you know, they continue to chug on, like having their Saturday and Sunday events 10 to 2. So that's all I have.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yep.
So next is the approval of the minutes from October 5th, 2020. Would anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from October 5th, 2020 as presented to us.
A second.
Great, we have a first and a second. All those in favor? Aye.
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 All right, thank you. Next is public comment.
So we have members who are here for the veteran signs, and then also Jeff Eck. So if we go by agenda order, I guess we would bring in Jeff first. So what we want to do?
Do we,
Or do you want to bring them in under their agenda item? How do you want to handle that?
yeah, so we just have folks who are here for public comment are here for specific agenda items?
That's correct. May make sense to.
Yeah, why don't we just bring them in during their agenda item?
Yep.
You want to give a quick COVID update though first?
I have something at some point too I want to discuss before. It's not on the agenda. There's something I think we probably want to toss around and think about as a town. So I don't know at what point you want to stick me in there.
Do you want to just throw it out now then?
Okay, sure. Valerie and I talked about this a little bit via text message earlier, but there's back and forth conversations about political rallies and counter rallies going on Wayland Commons, and I guess we can't really stop anybody that just wants to go out there and have like an impromptu kind of thing. But I think my personal feeling is that we probably don't want to encourage any kind of political rallies. It doesn't matter, who it's for, what party it's for, what organization it's for, on a public space like that. It seems like that opens us up to, well, if you can have a political rally there, why can't you have this there or that there? And you get where I'm going with this. So I don't know if that's something we want to talk about and sort of like formalize.
So I think when Martin addressed it, the concern is obviously that what we've talked about before with religious things, political things in an actual park that belongs to the town. Certainly no one has a problem with anyone having a peaceful rally of any kind for whoever's party they want to support, as long as they are on public property, and everybody, is friendly and keeps to themselves in that way. I welcome that from any side, anytime. But I think when, we talked about it, it's just a concern about it happening in a town park, because then, like you said, we've been approached by organizations over the years for people that we would not, typically want to have an event because of something that it could open the doors for 100 other things. So what are your all's thoughts?
Well, if I could just jump in a minute, I mean, event earlier this year and the one that's proposed, I reached out to both those hosts who are going to be the leaders of those events. So the one back in the summer, I said, we're not renting out Wayland Commons. They found a different location, of course, and they walked through town. This group reached out to me for the November 1st event. I said, we haven't rented out or condoned any events that's taken place on any of our properties. And that's why event earlier this year started off at a church and did their activities there. They respectfully appreciated that, we're treating everybody alike and the same, and that we're not going to permit our parks in that regard. So from that side, I've held the line. Basically what you're saying, Valerie, is that the town basically has a stance that, we don't use our parks in that regard. And that's been our traditional policy. So just let you all know what I've done, fielded internally from here and what's happened to date.
So that's great. I'm really glad to hear that
Me
people
too.
have reached out to you. That's respectful, and that's the thing to do. And I really appreciate that. I really
Mhm.
appreciate that. So, so you have already spoken to somebody and you feel like it's, okay, great.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
it was a respectful, good conversation.
Good. Okay, great. That's awesome.
Good.
And Martin, thanks for, keeping that at the top of the list as well.
Yep, you bet.
Okay, great. So where are we at? Oh, COVID.
I did not check.
It's still here.
I did not check the local numbers, but I know last week we were by zip code at 54.
5 today.
55. Okay. So otherwise, I don't have much change on that to date as well. So.
Okay, great. So unless anyone has anything else to say about COVID, except we hate it. New business, fire department Santa holiday idea. Do we want to bring Jeff?
Sure. Do you want to discuss anything beforehand or just bring them in and have them present?
Does anyone have any discussion before we bring Jeff on?
So he's going to present his idea, Seth. Is that what he's going to do?
Yeah, I think he's
Okay.
going to share with you what I think he
Okay,
believe he
great.
told you, Val, and what he told Carrie.
Okay, great. Perfect.
Hello,
Jeff,
Hey, Jeff.
hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey there.
Well, Jeff, clearly you're before the town commissioners, and they just want to hear where you're at with this. Probably what you told me a little over an hour ago might help them kind of get an understanding where your organization is at and what you're proposing at this point.
Sure. Well, actually, we were probably thinking that the regular Santa ride was not going to be possible because we're very cautious and quite. We don't want Poolsville all of a sudden become a hot spot because we had big crowds on the street corners as Santa went by, that kind of thing. So we had thought of an alternative of having, instead of Santa driving around, Santa would be stationary in Wayland Commons, and then we would invite the public to drive by in their car, stay in their car, drive by, wave, smile, take pictures, and we'd have some people on the sidewalks, waving and smiling and that kind of thing. But all of that is in the hands of, so our president, who is Heather Haller, and then our chief, who is Mike Burns, they attended a meeting last week, which with MCVFRA, that's Montgomery County Volunteer Fire Rescue Association, and discussed this with the president of the MCVFRA. His name is Buddy Sutton. And then Buddy Sutton said that he has a meeting with this week. I don't know exactly what day. He has a meeting this week with Chief Goldstein. Chief Goldstein is the chief over all of Montgomery County Fire Rescue Services. So he's going to have, he and Buddy Sutton will have, and also another chief, Chief Mike Kelly. So they'll have the final say on what they will allow the various, because it's not just our fire station, it's many fire stations across Montgomery County that have their Santa rides and their Santa events and holiday events and things like that. So at the moment, we're waiting for feedback from the higher up authorities to let us know what's going to be possible or what's not going to be possible. Yeah, so that's kind of where we stand really, is just waiting to see, yeah, like I say, what decisions come down from, the ultimate authorities there. So happy to answer any question. That's kind of where things stand. And I told Carrie that I would, keep her informed, and as soon as I learned something, and we're all kind of, holding our breath, waiting to see what the answer is going to be.
Seems to be the way things have gone over the last 6 months or so.
It does, yeah. Just hold your breath and wait and see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, our main thing is we really, really feel that the community is kind of, really wanting some kind of Santa thing for the holidays. And we really want to, provide that in some form or another. So that's why we came up with kind of a plan B to have stationary Santa, which we thought would maybe be safer, less risk, because we would just tell everybody, well in advance. We put it in the monocle, put it on Facebook, and maybe even have signs with the Santa helpers around the fire engine and that kind of thing. So Santa would be on top of the fire engine in Wayland Commons, maybe hopefully by the flags. And then, we would also have some folks, so if people parked across the street over by Dunkin' Donuts or parked over by the library or whatever, we would encourage them politely to really no walk-ups, get back in your car, please just stay in your car for everybody's, well-being, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where we stand, and we're just waiting to hear back from, like I say, Chief Goldstein and Chief Kelly, that kind of thing, for the what Montgomery County Fire Rescue Service is going to allow this year with the various Santa rides across the county.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
I
that's
appreciate, I was just going to say, Carrie, sorry, that
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I really appreciate you, thinking about it early on, Jeff. And I know how important it is to you and the fire department to be able to provide this service that you guys have always done. That's been amazing. So I hope that we can come up with some sort of an idea.
I hope so too. I'm also hoping that we can do Toys for Tots, because we all help out WUMCO, of course. But then I hear some folks are telling me, well, the COVID can live on surfaces for a certain length of time. I don't honestly know if that's true or not. I don't know the science behind any of these statements. So,
that's a tough one.
It seems like for tonight, one of the things that maybe could be discussed to give Jeff a little bit of direction is if the commission had a preference between these two options, what would you might want to see? I hope I haven't put you on the spot, but I think that may just give a little direction as to what he should be planning for if they're given the go-ahead on either option.
I personally would rather see the Santa ride, for sure, with a statement made to the community that we would ask that every family stay within their own driveway and their own space, and not to congregate with neighbors. I understand fully the fire department wanting to be cautious and not want to promote anything that's going to, create congregation. So I personally want to see something happen, but my first choice would definitely be the Santa ride.
Yeah, I feel exactly like you do, Val. I was wondering, trying to think in my head if it would be safe for the townhomes, and obviously you can't have people congregating, but everyone is in their own little bubble and their own little driveway. Is that something that's safe? I don't obviously I don't know the exact answer to that, but that would be my preference too, if it's even possible.
I know, but I would certainly also support Plan B, and I would be happy to figure out a way to volunteer my time to try to keep people in their lanes for that, if we had to, kind of get a perimeter around it and keep people from trying to walk up.
Right. Well, what we were thinking is maybe cone off the parking area that kind of leads up to the town hall, and then on the other side where you have the electric charging stations, maybe cone off those parking spaces as well, just to discourage folks from parking. And then, like I say, we would have people maybe holding a sign, happy holidays, please no walk up, something on that order, to really make if they hadn't seen the message already in the newspaper or on Facebook, to really make the message clear. I don't know what we could do, like I say, with the parking area across the street by Dunkin' Donuts and Subway and that kind of thing. yeah, don't know how we could prevent people from parking there. And
Well, I think it would have to be what you said. We would have to have one designated volunteer in that parking lot.
yeah,
As people entered, sort of like we did for Poolsville Day, as people enter the parking lot, you ask them, are you here to frequent a business? Because there is no walk-ups and no crosswalks, you know, to be used right now, because of the number of cars that are going to be driving by. So,
right. You know, we would also organize or coordinate with the Montgomery County Police Department for traffic control, because I would, you know, anticipate hopefully a lot of cars would be coming by to see Santa at Wayland Commons on top of the fire engine, playing music and that kind of thing. Yeah, so we would also coordinate with the police department for traffic control, because like I said, I anticipate cars going very slowly and, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, and for the tree lighting ceremonies, I know the police are there helping to direct traffic as well.
yeah. Jerry?
Yeah, to tell you the truth, it seems like you guys always pick the coldest night for your Santa ride through town. And I always wonder how you get Santa out of his thing with a blowtorch or a heater or something, because he's probably glued in there. But I've never seen families congregate, at least in my neighborhood, maybe in others. And generally, since it is the coldest night, everybody's generally by the front door or at the edge of their or driveway, somewhere between the garage and where the driveway meets the street. And you don't have a great mass of people congregating. So, and I think that would give an opportunity for the most people to see Santa throughout the whole town, the population wise. Now, you might want to throw in a pickup truck there with a couple of elves in each one, in front and back or something. I don't know. I could be an elf, I guess. Never had one before.
We need children to remember Christmas, not the spooky season.
They don't want to scare anybody.
No, I know this is Christmas, not Halloween. I know. But anyway, I think the fire truck is still a very valid thing. I don't think you have to worry about creating a super spreader event. And I think like I said, you would get the most bang for your buck through the number of people that would see Santa, the number of families that would see Santa by going through all the neighborhoods.
Right.
Yeah, I hope that we can stick with that. When you say you're going to find something out, Jeff?
Well, this week like I said, I don't know what day Buddy's or the chief is meeting with the chief. So, but I know our president is as eager to get an answer as anyone else. So she's following up with him, frequently, and then she'll pass the word along to the rest of us.
And that's Heather.
Heather Heller, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah. So she's on it for sure.
Yeah.
So Jeff, are we going to be obligated to stick with their decision?
If Montgomery County says no Santa rides, we're obligated to stick with their decision.
The fire department's obligated. Yeah.
The fire department is absolutely, yeah. Because we don't want to cross we don't even want to.
No, I get it. I just want to make sure that there's that's like a requirement, is that whatever they come up with is what we're going to have to do.
Right, because he would probably issue a FCGO, a fire chief general order. A couple, and which he generally does every time this year anyway, to emphasize safety for Santa, because a couple years ago he implemented a fire chief's general order requiring that when Santa's on top of the fire engine, that the seat where Santa sits has to be inspected by the safety officer, Montgomery County Fire Department safety officer, and then passed inspection before Santa can actually ride on top of the fire truck.
Yeah, no kids want to see Santa take a tumble. I get that.
Oh yeah, no. Oh my goodness.
But Jeff, just to wrap this up.
Yeah.
I stand amongst the others that I think it makes total sense that if they allow it, that we should still have Santa stick to the same routes they've already stuck to, and that let the town put the word out that people should not congregate. They should stay within their own core group of people that they've already been semi-quarantining with. I think logistically, sticking with what we normally do, but putting those warnings out there will be by far the safest way we can do it.
Yeah.
And I'm not opposed to Jerry being a elf bodyguard in a Jeep on the front or the back of the procession.
Good, good. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think all of us probably agree that the regular route would
Yes.
probably be the safer thing to do. We just have to really drill it into the residents that everybody has to stay in their lane.
Right,
Really.
right.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
our
like I
residents
said-
have enough common sense to, and they understand the significance of the pandemic that, you know, they'll take the proper precautions and do the right thing. I have
Yeah.
enough faith in our residents to do that.
Well, I would certainly hope so, right, right.
Yeah, but either way, you know, thanks for thinking of Poolsville as always, and just trying to make sure that you're, you know, behind the 8 ball, in front of the 8 ball,
Right.
wherever you are, in front of the fire truck. We
Yeah.
appreciate that, Jeff.
Yes, my pleasure, my pleasure. Well, like I say, as soon as I find something, I'll email Carrie and she can pass it along.
Great.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank you
for
very
coming
much.
out.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right.
So before going forward, we have to take one step back. We did have somebody in public comment that was overlooked. So we'll just go to public comment for a couple minutes. Is that okay, Carrie?
Sure.
Mandy, can you hear us? Hello.
Hey, Mandy.
The audio is still connecting. Hey, Mandy, you're before the town commissioners. If you want to take a few minutes to state what you would like to address to them, go right ahead.
I
All right,
mean,
great. Hi. I wanted to bring up the lovely skate park. Yay, our favorite. So I have 4 kids and one of them is 12 and that is one of his favorite places to go. I'm going there with the things that have been happening and like it hasn't been very fun for him. He's been coming home with a lot of complaints. There's been bullying and of course the vandalism, but really it's just not a very safe place in my eyes as a parent. I don't like him going there, but he wants to play there. And I'm not sure what the answer is for parents or for children for them to make it a safer place. But my concern is that skate park. It'd be a shame to get rid of it, but I don't know. So my big thing is, what do we do with this place that is fun for kids, but is a concern, I think, for a lot of parents in this town?
Yeah, you know, it's sad because this is a wide open park in the middle of town with the best visibility pretty much of any park that we have. So it's always discouraging to hear that there's trouble going on there. And as parents, you know, and as a parent of a 26-year-old who loved to skateboard there as well when it was first built, you know, I was always hesitant to, you know, let him stay there for extended lengths of time. But I will say that back then, what I did was I went to the park.
Yeah. Oh,
I made my presence known.
Yeah.
I spoke to the children there with, you know, respect and chatted with them about, you know, what they were doing and what they liked doing. And I personally feel that, you know, the more adult presence that is there, you know, possibly the sooner the issue may go away.
Yeah.
They don't want to be where, you know, troublemakers don't want to be where adults are, right, Mandy?
Yeah, we've tried that. So over the summer, the group of us parents took turns.
I remember that, hearing about it.
Yeah, and like it was like I even told my son, I was like, I'll make that my new office.
Sure, they love that.
You know, he's not embarrassed of me, but it's a shame to have to do that.
Yeah.
And one dad did, you know, he did that too in the spring as well. You know, he was going there. And the sad thing is, I think the couple of the kids that are going are kids that aren't even doing the skating, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not the ones that are. and it's going, like you said, your son was going there when and he's 20, in his 20s, and it's always been a thing.
Yeah.
But actually, I feel like the visibility isn't that great now. It's hidden behind, areas, and it is, and I don't want to take trees down but with the trees that are planted, and it is a hidden spot. But anyway,
Yeah, I guess because I travel up and down Wooten a lot, I feel like it's very visible to me. But yeah, it's a tough one. It's tough. This is what do you guys, does anybody have any great thoughts about this? Because it's a really tough thing to address. And the kids who love that park and use it for what it was built for, it's magnificent.
Yeah.
We've gone,
really tough. Sorry, go ahead.
we've gone through waves of, sometimes there's difficulties there. And like we have waves of that take place at all of our parks in one form or another. So I do like Val's idea of increased parent presence. I also like the idea of increased awareness, not just amongst the commissioners, but town staff. Town staff's not police. They're not going to be there policing, but increased awareness from all of us, town staff, parents, as well as let's let Tara know that we need police to take a swing through there a little more often. We've done this before.
Yes.
And bullying wasn't created today or yesterday. It's been around for a long time. Things that take place on our public parks, they've been going on forever. I think the key is we don't overreact, but that we do increase our awareness as well as the awareness of the police. And we just have a little more adult presence there when we need it. The bullies will go away. They'll transfer to another venue and we'll claim that park back. I don't think it's an epidemic or a pandemic, but I do.
Of course, raising.
But I do think, but I know it's real too.
Yeah, and raising 4 kids here as well, Mandy. And 3 boys.
Yep.
I will say that I was never beyond finding where a child lived and having a conversation with the parents.
And we'll just and you Carrie, you have a good relationship with Tara. Why don't you have her reach out to her colleagues and ask them to, instead of parking at Town Hall, have them park over there when they can. And that'll make a difference just by itself. As we all know, there's no, we did this a few years ago when our very great officers that we have were making sure that they were parked at the church parking lot where nothing happens.
Yeah.
So we can have.
And I do think you'll find that they spend some time over there because I actually see their car parked over there quite a bit.
As much as they can or more could be better. But
Yeah,
what I don't want to do
absolutely.
I don't want to get into panic mode about thinking about shutting it down or building fences or anything like that. We can't do that.
No. And I was thinking about some ideas of even bringing in some people who are not like professional skaters, but like not adults, but like people who like to skate, that may be like a camp time, but something with skateboarding that are like more adult age.
I like the idea of mentoring. Is that what that's where you're coming out? That's not a bad idea.
And so you have somebody who is of an older presence that knows more skills in skating and scootering and things. So they're not like dorky parents.
Somebody give Chris Gerentano a call.
That's right.
Yeah, Tony Hawk. But that's, again, I said to my sons, like, who's that? So
Tony Hawk, that's the man.
Yeah, more relevant, but like something like that. And then, you have, whatever, something in that idea, but then you still have, it's kind of cool. And
that's a good point, Mandy. Maybe we could rally the skate community. I know some of them. I know Val still does too. Maybe we could get the word out that just more like older youth or younger adults. I'm thinking like
a big brother.
Yeah.
Like the big brother, big sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, have a bit of a community pull to it. I like that. I like the sound of it.
Actually, Mandy, I will have a conversation with somebody who is very involved in that community. I think it's a great idea. We can figure out a way to muster that up. And, maybe your kids know people that they can talk to who may know older mentors who are still into skateboarding that would like to come out.
So, yeah, Val, Tucker, my son was there the other day, and he's 29, and one of the kids called him Grandpa.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I mean,
Sure. They
truly,
love some boomers.
Yeah.
It might have been Mandy's kid. Now that I'm thinking about this.
I mean, Chris Giarratano, I believe, is 50 something, and he actually still does skateboard there. So
Yeah.
Well, I love that Mandy has brought this up because this is definitely something that a lot of
Correct.
parents have been talking about recently.
Yep.
I mean, all of our kids are cooped up at home right now, doing their education online and, running out of things to do. And it's a tough time and it's a great skate park. I mean, comparatively speaking, it's a very
great.
well-built skate park and there's a reason why it's popular. But I would love to actually agendize this issue in November too. I'd love to have staff look at some of these ideas. Maybe we could bring Tara in to the conversation too.
I know that it's a really sore subject, but I would love more than anything to see a camera go in that part.
I do too.
Yeah, it's definitely not a terrible idea.
So
Well, you can put it on the Parks Board agenda. Let them kick it around
Yep.
again.
100%.
I think
Anyways, but thank you for your ideas, Mandy. I mean, it's, you know what? It's just nice to have parents involved who are looking for a solution. So,
Yeah.
and anything you can do to add to the solution, run it by anyone on any of our boards.
I will try.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Good seeing you,
Thank you,
Mandy.
Mandy.
Good to see you.
Good night.
All right, so that brings us to the veterans posters.
Okay.
Just really quick in my staff report, you see what's been provided. This is now a recommendation from the Parks and Rec Board to you. These will be local veterans. You can ask Annette, who is going to provide you some more information about the number. I remember saying something about maybe 10 to 12 of these in Wayland Commons. It'd be much like the ones that you saw this summer for the high school students.
Mhm.
Except I'm going to show you a rendering of what she sent to me just a little bit ago, because I talked about putting these up a little bit higher than the prior ones. But the reason they may be doing that now is they're going to put them a little bit higher, as I said. But the reason for that is going to put them behind the rock wall so that you can see. I've got too many windows open. They'll put them behind the rock wall, but the height is necessary to get over the rock wall, and it'll be apparent in this picture. Do you all see my screen with the way they're proposing this? And again, this will go up the Sunday before Veterans Day and come down the Sunday after Veterans Day is what they're proposing. And so during this time, all the scarecrows will be gone. All the holiday lighting from Halloween will be gone. And after this is done, we will start putting up our Christmas lights. So it's in the middle between events anyway. So it should not impact what we're doing. But this is what's been recommended to you from the Parks and Rec Board. I don't know if you have any questions of me, but I can bring in Annette if you'd like.
Sure. I mean, I feel like she's waited long enough.
Yes, she
Chat
has.
about it. Jerry, was your picture on one of those?
Who, me?
Hey, Annette.
How are you?
Good. Sorry you had trouble getting in. And I didn't see your text until way after you texted me, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was trying to listen to the whole meeting, but can we still do that?
Yeah, you can go back and listen to it after. You can go back to YouTube and rewatch it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah.
So,
I'm
Annette,
new to
just to help you, what I teed up the commission on was the recommendation provided from the Parks and Rec Board
Okay.
that you were at, and your proposal. And I shared with them the picture that you provided to me today because it helps some clarification why you want them off the ground higher than the ones from the students. That's clearly to get over the rock wall and be able to see them there. And so they're all aware of this. They're just looking for any information you might have. Maybe you can provide the number of posters you're proposing. Again, the fact that you'll take them up and then take them down. I told them Sunday to Sunday
Yes,
over the Veterans Week. So
correct, yeah.
any other information you'd like to add or questions?
And Seth, can I just clear up, are we looking for the board to just give the okay to do this? Is that what you're asking?
That's correct. Yes, that would be the role of the town commission.
Okay, great.
So Julian and I did go out there and we counted, there's 60 of the blocks on the top. So I know that the semicircle will accommodate, you know, the volume in our group. Right now we have 25 pictures to start with this year, with the hopes of doubling that by next year, Veterans Day.
Wow.
It's just getting the pictures from the individual, and then what we've opted to do, it's name, rank, branch, and the years they served. And if you're retired, we're putting retired after the rank.
Nice.
So, and the pictures, did you see an individual picture yet?
No, we didn't. Do you have?
Yeah, so
something
what I
that-
did is it's on my phone, so I'm gonna
Oh.
hold, can you see that?
Oh, okay.
That's Julian's,
Oh, yeah.
and then it'll be, the bottom will be like that.
Wow, that's really cool.
Right, so the post opted to do a picture of while we were in service in uniform as opposed to a current picture, which I think that's part of the lag because several folks are still digging for pictures.
Yeah, I know somebody who looked for a lot of hours to find one.
Yeah. Yeah. I happen to have all mine together because we've been sorting through pictures for the last couple years.
Right.
I had a whole pile like, oh, so I said, crop my daughter out. I'm using a picture of when I was promoted.
Yeah, good for you.
So, but,
Yeah, I love the idea of it. I love the idea of honoring our veterans in town somehow, some way. And I also think it's a great drive to get more people to join the American Legion and become a part of, you know, that organization. So, you know,
yeah,
thank you.
every month I probably get 3 new folks joining us.
That's great. Oh, there we go. That's really
There
nice.
you go. Yep, there you go.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
And they're sharp looking too.
I love seeing the old pictures of these guys and gals. Look
Yes.
at you.
So, yeah, so Welchco's gonna do the signs. He's able to affix the sign with a screw to an 8-foot wooden stake so that it'll sit high up off the ground.
He's going to do that for you.
Yes,
That's
Julian
great.
worked that out today because my concern with putting it on the H-frames and then Julian trying to attach it wasn't gonna work. So he's got it worked out where they will be screwed into the wood.
That's great. And thank you to Brian Wetchko for, you know, really
Yes.
getting behind this program.
Right, and he's actually helping us out with waiving some of the fees. So it's still going to cost some money, but you know we're good with all that. So yeah, I can't really think of anything else. I mean, we'll be responsible for putting them in the ground, and of course taking them out. If the weather is bad or it's going to pour, I'm sure we'll pull them down early.
And then you're going to take them out and like good golfers, you're going to step on your divots.
Yes, yes. Well, fortunately, it's behind that wall. Yes, we'll fix anything that we've, you know,
that's
right now we
great.
have 25, so we're looking at 25 holes. But yes, so that is. all
Seth, do you
our
see any issues with it, Seth?
No, I don't see any issues with it, or else I'd have probably provided that in the staff report, but I
Yeah.
think it's fine.
Great.
Okay, so
Well,
I'm
that's
gonna
awesome.
I'm gonna finish filling out that request. I got Maggie sent to me. I will get that up to you in the next day or so. I guess I have to fill out the parks request form.
Yep.
I'll drop that off. You let me know what happens after that.
All right.
So,
Communicate on that.
right, correct.
Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you. Can I go to bed now?
Yeah.
I'm an early bird.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank
Okay.
you.
So we got
All
another
right.
green light. Sounds good.
Thanks, Annette.
Yes, thank you.
thank you.
Okay.
Do you all would you all take a vote on that just to affirm your action.
So I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the American Legion doing an event for Veterans Day that will last from Sunday to Sunday for 1 week, starting November 1st.
I'll second the motion.
Is that right? November
Yeah.
1st?
No.
No.
The
Veteran
We would be Sunday, November 8th
8th.
to Sunday, November 15th.
Okay, great. So I'll make a motion that we approve that.
Second.
and Jerry seconded.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, great. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. So last but not least on our agenda tonight is we have a proclamation here for Valerie Dickerson. And I guess I'll go ahead and read the proclamation as per usual. In honor and celebration of 8 years of outstanding public service as a Town of Poolesville Commissioner, we thank you for your service on the Board of Parks, Recs, and Streets, and on the Board of Events. Your dedication and faithful service on the Events Committee has benefited the town and its residents by creating numerous events that has contributed to the enrichment of the residents' lives and will continue to entertain the town of Poolesville. Your thoughtful deliberation and promoting the best interests of the town exemplifies the finest in a public official. Congratulations and best wishes for continued success and happiness, proclaimed this 19th day of October, 2020. And just for my part, I'll also say my own congrats. Thank you so much for your leadership. 8 years is not a small amount of time. Thank you for your dedicated commitment to this board and to the residents, and for your many contributions to the town that we all love. So congratulations.
Thanks, Gary.
For all you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate all of, that, and I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate everything that, together over these years as a board, we've done for the town. You guys know that my passion for Poolesville is endless. So certainly it is not ending here by any means. I will be involved in a lot of things going forward, and things that, just truly make me happy from the heart, things that I can do on a little less regimented time slot, and spending time with my grandchildren and my children, and doing things for, the other parts of the community that I really enjoy as well. I obviously can't thank the residents of Poolesville enough for their support over the years. I have never, ever once felt anything but true love and appreciation from our residents in my, time as a commissioner. Of course, I can't thank our town staff. They have made part of this for me really as enjoyable as our residents. We have had an amazing town staff for my, 28 years living in Poolesville. I've been involved with the commission for 26 of those years in some way or another. I ran for commissioner twice before I actually won the election. I lost twice, and I was determined to do my part. And my part in this big, huge world is really, right here in the town of Poolesville. Starts with my family and ends with all of you. And I hope that going forward, whoever gets elected into this next election, it could be 2 of our seated commissioners, and it could be others. I hope that you will embrace the community and love our community the way that I have, and that I will continue to do so over the years. And again, I do want to personally say thank you to all of our town staff, our department heads, of course, Kathy Bupp, my best friend since I was 12 years old. And, still here we are somehow, even though we lost touch for 20 years, here we are sitting here doing this together for all these years again. Preston King, I don't know very many people who could fill his shoes in the way that he has taken care of our town, our streets. His guys, endless love for the community. And Preston, I cannot thank you enough for everything you've done for our town and for me. I feel the same way about Matt Haga, Andrew Witt, and all of the employees that I've had to deal with over the years. It's been a pleasure, Seth, since
Thank you.
January. Jay, what can I say? You've made my time here truly. I also appreciate the friendship and the bonding that we've had long before I ever became a commissioner, through Eddie. And I will always, be grateful for your humor and your professionalism and your great legal background and advice to us as a board. So thank you for that. John Strong also has been a true solid addition to our team for so many years. So John, if you're watching, I want to say thank you to you as well. All of our boards, I loved being on the Parks Board. As Carrie probably knows, being a part of that board now, I love that board. I love the dedication of the people on that board. They're true blue residents. Our planning commission, what can I say? They have been the real shield of our community. They are where it all begins. And typically we are where it all ends. And that's not always the pretty seat to be in. But the Planning Commission has taken it upon themselves over the years to take on things that, no man, as Star Trek would say, should have to do. I'm sure there's plenty of times when the term I used today was "beam me up, Scotty, my time here is done." But thank you to the Planning Commission, our other boards that don't get recognized, our BZA, and of course our Elections Committee. I just want to thank everybody who's been involved in the amazing village of my life, having moved here in 1969, grown up in Poolesville. And for many of you, you've probably heard recently, I've come to find that I am a direct descendant, 5 generations down, of Joseph Poole, John Poole's brother. In a million years, I could not have imagined moving to Poolesville, Maryland in 1969. And here I am, a commissioner, a vice president of this board, and John Poole is my uncle, and Joseph Poole is my great-great-great-great-grandfather. It's really, I can hardly even believe it to this day. But as my mother wrote in the recent paper, it's the full circle of roots and connections. And I certainly have made so many in this town. And I just want to say thank you to all of our residents, our staff, and of course, you guys especially. I have great respect for everyone who's ever sat on this board and for anyone who in the future would even want to volunteer their time to do what I feel has been a very gratifying job serving our community. So I just want to end by saying thank you to the town staff, thank you to the Board of Commissioners and all of our boards, and mostly thank you to the residents of Poolesville.
Thank you,
And
Valerie.
thank you for letting me say all that.
Valerie, on your proclamation, maybe a nice little special touch there that starts out your dedication with the events committee. I had asked Kathy to send me over some verbiage or other things, and she sent me a few pieces, and that was sort of one of the ones that I used there about the creating the numerous events and the continued enrichment of the town. So I think it's kind of fitting as well. So that did
I
come from
appreciate
Kathy.
Yeah, thank you, Kathy, wherever you are, if you're out there.
She's watching. She's texted me a couple times.
Yeah, I have so much appreciation for her. And of course, Bobby and Maggie, I cannot forget them and all that they've given to the town for so many years. And of course, I have to say, Wade Yost, you made me the commissioner I am today. You taught me the ropes. You told me when to stop. You told me when to go. You told me when I was out of line. You told me when I should and shouldn't bring up a subject that wasn't meant to be brought up. And I really, truly will never forget what he did to help me become a professional commissioner. So I really have to say thank you to Wade Yost beyond words. That's all I have.
Very nice. Very well said. Congratulations.
Thank you, you guys. I appreciate it.
All right, all we have left is town manager report, Seth.
Certainly. So Fisher Avenue is officially a town asset. If you'll call a road an asset, they do.
Yeah.
So we have it by deed. And so moving along, the electric vehicle chargers are now all connected and up and running. If you are aware, there was one that was not yet connected. So we have them all connected along Wayland Commons, and that's taken care of. So appreciate Preston's crew helping out with getting some of that connected to that location.
Is it a total of 6 now that we have?
We have
There are
6
total-
EV chargers.
Yep.
Correct.
6, okay, good. Thank
Four
you.
in Wayland and then 2, of course, at Tad's. Yep.
Putting out a lot of electricity here in this town.
Right. It's electrifying.
Great.
So, as you know, Kathy and I sent you an email, did watch one of the videos about how businesses can try and apply for a grant for reimbursement, particularly related to PPE type of activity and changes in their business practices and things they've had to do to accommodate the new business arrangement with all the takeout and with all the safety precautions. So we sent that to our bricks and mortar places here because they're the ones clearly most affected by that. And that's been sent to them as I sent to you in an email. The street lights, we are working on that. We've got Lily, General Custard, and the ones in Tama up and running. We still have to do Wooten. There's some at Wooten and Spurrier as well, and then on Munger as well. But at Soper and Wooten, we had to pause because somewhere there was a gas leak, and we had to call the fire department to get that sort of taken care of as well. Oxley Farm, there's been some questions about that as it goes into Westerly. We did put at Oxley Farm and Westerly the intersection. Of course, the development is Westerly Grove. We did put a sign there that said no construction traffic going up there. It's not yet roughed in, but we're just in advancing of that and making sure that no construction equipment heads up that residential street at this time. Election, as you know, is right around the corner. I will say that Bobby's been very hard at work on this and very diligent on this project, and Maggie's been helping her directly with her. And so I give my hat off to them. They're really working that very diligently. So where we're at is we have the addresses from the county, and we're going to be putting on stickers on envelopes. Did some today and then some tomorrow and Wednesday. So we will be sending out in the mail Tuesday and Wednesday the ballots, 2 different batches. So they will be probably hitting the doorsteps presumably Friday. We're anticipating these may or may not get shipped out, but they just may stay local.
Friday of this week?
Well, yeah, we're going to put
okay.
them, yep,
Just
we're going to put them in the mail
Going out
tomorrow.
Tuesday, Wednesday is what you said?
Yep, Tuesday and Wednesdays when they're going in the mail. So we're going to do a Facebook announcement tomorrow. Give the heads up. So we're pretty proud of that process.
That's
and what's
great.
been done there. So we have some miscellaneous street and sidewalk repairs that you may notice going on around town. It's going to be on Hughes, Bliss, Fisher, Krister, and Dowden. So it's just some miscellaneous random wrap-up work, some smaller stuff. That's kind of where we're at with some of those items. Let me see. And that pretty much wraps up anything I have to say about updates from the town manager's report.
Seth, are you still planning to do some kind of an informational video about voting?
Yes, correct. Kathy and I are going to do that tomorrow. About
Great.
when you get your ballot, these are things that are going to be in it, and this is how you vote.
Awesome.
That's great. Because I do just want to say that, I also want to give, a little shout out as a last announcement to David Terrio from Locals. He's doing an amazing, amazing job as a new business owner, just really embracing the community. I've been over there every weekend since he opened, and I can't get over the support that he's getting, and how he's getting it is, by embracing the community. So thank you so much for that, David. But one thing I wanted to say is that, he did an amazing thing yesterday. I ran up there real quick towards the end of the day to get my chai latte that I love. And we got to talking about my leaving the board and all the things that I would be involved in, and the seniors. And we had a really deep conversation about our seniors in the community, and, just trying to, foster them and keep an eye on them, and try to know who they are and who needs help, especially during a time like this. And I've been involved in at least 3 programs where we're doing that to help our seniors, all during COVID: food distributions, a bread distribution, a church function. But at the end of the day, he had some things left over yesterday, and he donated them to me. And I took them to, 4 different seniors within the community who are not leaving their homes at all right now. And I got an amazing message on the phone from one of them today, Nancy, and I sent it to David, and I know it really touched him to hear how grateful our community is to have people like that, who are helping out. So we had a conversation when I dropped some of that off to a resident about the election, and how, worried some of these people are about this process and it going smoothly, and how they're going to know what to do. So I think it's really important that you guys make the video. I really appreciate the fact that you're going to do that. And for all of us in the public service arena, to talk to as many people as we can. I already have plans to put some things out saying if anybody feels uncomfortable about any part of this process, that they can always call myself or anyone from town hall, even going forward. So, let's just try to keep on top of that, because it's really important that people don't get frustrated in any way whatsoever, and they have the right to vote, and that they're able to do it smoothly. So thank you for that video, Seth. I know that was a lot of words to get back to the video, but I wanted to make sure that I said it, because, I visited 4 seniors yesterday, and it came up with every one of them, clearly, because, being a commissioner, it's the first thing on their mind right now. And so they're asking me about it. So, we really want to make sure that we're all helping anyone who feels uncomfortable about the process.
That's right. And there's also the candidate forum is tomorrow night. And are we helping the chamber advertise that on the marquee?
Yes, we are.
Okay, great.
Yep.
And so that's going to be done through Zoom, but then someone's going to film it through Facebook Live.
Oh, great.
So if anybody who's out there listening wants to watch it, I believe you can go to the Chamber's Facebook page and you can watch it live. So that's the easiest way to access it, is through the Poolesville Area Chamber of Commerce, and they're live. But I know that Gail, I believe, and Monica will be putting some stuff out during the day tomorrow. And I will, come in on the coattails of that. Anybody who can reshare it, share it so that everybody can see it. Do you guys who are going to be there know anything more about it, Martin or Jerry?
Nope,
No.
except that everybody's going to get 2-minute opening session spiel, and then 1-minute replies to all the questions. It's going
Great.
to last approximately an hour and a half.
Great. And I also do want to say, before we go, good luck to both of you guys and to all of our candidates. And I would like to say publicly that I appreciate everyone who has come forward and want to volunteer their time. And I hope that our community embraces the fact that, it takes a lot to do a volunteer job like this. So whoever you are and whatever your beliefs are, the mere fact that you are willing to do anything for your community in a volunteer capacity is really important. And I hope that our community appreciates that and understands that, attacking people personally is not nice. It's not fair. And I really hope that none of that takes place during this election. We really need to embrace everyone for what they, feel that they could give to the community. So I hope that the election goes well. And Jerry and Martin, I wish both of you luck as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, unless there's anything else, Val, do you want to do a ceremonial motion to adjourn?
Or I make the motion to adjourn my last official meeting as a Poolesville Town Commissioner.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
All right.
All
All right.
Thank you
Thanks.
so much.
everybody.
Good night.
Thank you all.